I can already tell you I'm gonna be hot in this cardigan. Vintage tea. Anyway, we've committed to the cardigan. We're gonna make it through this whole video. And this is my only time to complain. Let's get into my April wrap-up. So April was a good month. I feel like I am averaging about 5 to 6 books a month, which is amazing. 2 of them were physical. I actually touched physical books this month. 2 of them were physical. 3 of them were audio. I don't think I really okay. I'm not going to say I didn't use my Kindle because I did. A lot of the times when I read physical, I also will read my books on my Kindle. But majority of these books, I guess I kind of gauge it on, like, did you read it mainly physical or mainly Kindle? This month, I mainly read it in those 2 in physical form. Jesus Christ, words are hard. The first book I read in April was The Summer in the City. I actually started in March, finished it the first week of April. I gave this book 2.5 stars. I had so much hope for it because it is literally such a cute book. The sprayed edges are adorable. It's pink. It is pixie all the way, but the book was not it. The main character got in the way of herself so much. Like, I feel like I'm in your face. Okay. Oh my God. Zoom out. Just kidding. I just backed it up a little. The main character, Ellie, is this screenwriter who goes by a different alias, and she has promised to take care of her sister's apartment for the summer, who lives in this high-rise apartment. Beforehand, like, before the story actually starts, she is in a club with her friends, and she runs into, in New York, obviously. She meets this really attractive guy. They make out, and then he's like, I know you only want me for one thing. Kind of douchey. It ended up being Parker, who is, like, a billionaire, like, tech industry come up guy. Like, he's most eligible bachelor. She hates him after saying this. She's like, what the F? That's not who I am. So she ends up moving to Los Angeles, and then she comes back to New York for apartment sitting for her sister. And surprise, surprise, guess who's her neighbor? Parker. Parker is not a bad male main character. I rarely favor the men over the women in these books, but Jesus, cheese and rice. Like, Elle was just annoying. There was a lot of things where she's just, like, super negative. She's, like, trying to make the point of not liking Parker for his money, and she's kind of really mean about it in some points. I don't know. I should have DNF'd it. The 2 main reasons I finished it: 1, my bestie was reading it, so I also wanted to talk trash about it with her. 2, I saw a lot of people literally DNF it 80% in. I had to see why. And when I saw why, I said, oh, I get it. I have the entire Lightlark series, so let's pray to God that romance is not Alex Astor's strong point, because I would cry if I spent money. And that's why you don't spend money on series, like a full set of series, because the consequences of my own actions if I don't like it. So 2.5 stars. The second book I read was Fearless by Lauren Roberts. 5 stars. Thank the Lord. I had so much, like, the Powerless series. I literally asked my best friend yesterday what my favorite series are. And the first words that come out of her mouth are the Powerless trilogies. The Powerless trilogies. This book was everything and more. Yes, there were some parts where I will accept no hate for this book. I'm sorry. There were some parts where I'm like, damn, did that really have to happen? But I still love this book. I finished it up so fast. I was crying. I was laughing. It wrapped everything up, but it also left you wanting a little more, because word on the street is Lauren is going to come out with a novella. She hasn't said what it's about. So 5 stars. Loved it. Read the series. Don't listen to the haters. Just read it. It's YA, I will tell you that, so take with that as you will. JK, I just checked my reviews and I actually gave The Summer in the City 2 stars. Oops. The third book I read was First Time Caller. That was for my book club. ate it up. 4 stars. I loved everything about this book. I've never done a single mom story. It's mainly single dads. The 2 main characters, Lucy and Aiden, their chemistry was unmatched. Like, they were trying to deny it for so long, but the little flirting and the banter is literally what I live for. And it didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel pushed. BK Borison just has a way of making you feel like you're there, and it just gave me all the warm and fuzzy feelings as somebody who, I like reading romance, but I also like there to be deeper meanings in the romance books that I read, because I can't really do rom-coms without it feeling too cringy for me, but this one was so good. Aiden is like, I wouldn't call him grumpy, I would call him jaded. He is like, I don't believe in love, blah, 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 but he hosts a show on the radio that offers dating advice. Don't know how that works when you don't believe in love, but who am I? Lucy's daughter, who's like, I think 12, calls into the radio show and is like, hey, I need help with my mom. Lucy's like, what the heck? Lucy ends up going on the show, becoming a co-host for a little bit, because the people love her. Like, the audience loves her. They want to follow this journey, and you just kind of go through with it while they're trying to avoid this feeling for each other. I loved it. 4 stars. The 4th book I read was The Haunting of Alejandra, and that one I gave 3.5 stars. I enjoy the folklore sense of it, because it covers La Llorona. You can tell how much my Spanish goes. And how essentially this family has been cursed, like the women in the family have been cursed for years and years and years. And I feel like maybe it would have been a bit more powerful for me if I was a mother, because it essentially curses the women in the family, but the curse becomes like real when they have children, and it essentially like wants them and their children. So you follow Alejandra, and she's really like, I'm gonna myself. I can't do this anymore. I'm so depressed. Her husband's oh my god, her husband is literally like, why are you sad? I work all day and you get to stay home with the kids. Excuse me, sir? So she pretty much goes on this journey of fighting this curse, hopefully breaking it with her family. I enjoyed the references back to San Antonio. I don't know why it took me so long I've had this book for a while, and I finally picked it up and read it. I needed like a horror thriller book, and this one did it for me. It was 3.5. I don't think 3 stars are bad. That's like average. This was like a little but overall I did enjoy it. It wasn't like overly scary. I don't think I really get overly scared with books, and I did this one in audio, but it still was like, I don't know if you know the story of La Llorona. Oh my god, why? La Llorona. You would understand a little bit more, but it's not spooky stories. It's not spooky, scary stories with Pixie right now, but I would definitely pick it up if you are interested in like Mexican folklore, the scary stories like Chupacabra and stuff like that, but it only touches base on one, obviously. And then the 5th book I read, which I literally like eve of May 1st, I had already done my reading wrap up. I finished Kiss Me Maybe by Gabriela Gomez. 4 stars. This book was so good, and it had San Antonio in it, and I loved it. I waited to read it until Fiesta started, which Fiesta, if you don't know, is a 10-day celebration of the Battle of Flowers here in San Antonio, where we celebrate the Battle of the Alamo, all that stuff. It's just a giant party, and it's one of my favorite times of the year, so I said, let me wait. I got this book sent to me, I think, like February, and I said, I'm not going to read it yet. I'm going to wait till the perfect time. Like, people who love Christmas, this is what I did. I really enjoyed it. You follow Angela and Crystal. This is an interconnected series to Gabriela's first book, so you don't have to read them to read each other, because I've never read the first one. I want to now because of it. Also, Luna's right here, so she wants pets. I hadn't read it, but it still made sense to me. But ultimately, Angela is, Angie as they call her, is an asexual woman. she's an asexual lady who also identifies as a lesbian. And she's just trying to figure out, like, her people. And, you know, it's like a coming of age story in a sense. She's had a crush on this bartender named Crystal for a while. I think Crystal is bisexual. And essentially, Angela wants her first kiss, and she wants to do, like, a scavenger hunt around San Antonio. And she goes viral on TikTok, and that's kind of where this all takes off. Besides the romance in this book, which was Chef's Kiss, I love the fact that in the book, Angela's cousins are not the nicest to her. And being Hispanic, it is drilled into your brain that family is important no matter what. They cannot do no wrong. You have to always forgive them. But Angela's like, no, I know who they are, and I know what they believe in and how ugly they are. And I appreciate that, because I think my generation and other Hispanics that I've met that have had toxic family members understand boundaries, and I love seeing that in writing. I just love this book. I also got to meet Gabriella yesterday, and she was literally the sweetest and funniest, and it was great. So highly recommend Kiss Me Maybe. It just came out yesterday, which was the 6th, so check her out. I lost my reading streak this past month. I think it was like over 120 days. I got really sick. That's dramatic. It was like a really bad sinus infection. I wasn't dying. I didn't have a fever. It felt like I swallowed glass. I couldn't even read. I watched a lot of stuff, which we'll get into, but I lost my reading streak. But that's okay, because this puts me at 24 out of 50 books. I'm halfway done with my reading goal, and it's not halfway through the year, so that's amazing. And my favorite book of April is obviously going to be Fearless. That's without a doubt. Will it be my favorite book of the year? Who knows? We shall see. Okay, so April wrap up with movies and TV shows. Like I said, I was dying sick. I watched a lot of TV. I watched The White Lotus and finished it. This 3rd season was not my cup of tea. It was so interesting, but like the other seasons have been better. And then watched The Last of Us. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm back on my Gypsy Rose BS. I don't think this girl should be famous, but Jeez and Rice, I cannot stop watching the train wreck. I just reminded me I have a new episode to watch. And then we get into Pixie's Sick Days. I binged 2 series of crime series. One is, what's it called? The Devil in the Family, Ruby Frankie on Hulu. What the hell? I knew a little bit about this story from obviously social media, but the extent of it, wow. And the fact that her husband still says he loves her, absolutely not. Even if you did something like that to a child that was not mine, I would think you're freaking a lunatic, and I would not, no. And then another, it was like a family vlog theme for me, was an update on her family, which is about another social media influencer, which I really didn't know about. I think I heard about the story once or twice, but they had adopted a little boy from overseas, and he had some health issues, mental issues. I think he was on the spectrum, and they couldn't handle it, so they ended up, I don't want to say like giving him back, but another family adopted him, and it was this whole like fiasco. Like, you guys only adopted a kid for clout, all this stuff. It was crazy to watch. And then we started watching Servant. That show, I don't know what's going on. Every time we finish it, I look at Danny and I say, what's going on? What's happening? Who are these people? I'll still watch it every day. It's a really creepy show. There's also 4 seasons of this. I don't know how, they're 30-minute episodes, but I'm still like, I can't wrap my mind around it. How? What did I do besides reading? I played a lot of Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I did not even touch The Sims this past month. Who am I? I am back on my Sims BS, because that can only last for so long. I love that game. I need friends to play with, because, I don't know, it's kind of boring. No, it's not. There's something new every day to do on Hello Kitty Island, so been playing that. I also completed all of my Animal Crossing Legos. I have every single set that has come out to date, and I finished them, And I finished them, and I don't know how I'm going to have room for the next 3. There's 3 more series coming out, but we have the whole gang. The whole gang's here, not all of them. My favorite villager is Dizzy. I don't think we'll ever get Dizzy on a Lego thing. I wish, but we're getting Blathers. I think we're getting a couple more villagers. I think Blathers is like the big main one, and then the other ones are just other villagers. So we're getting more houses, which is cool. I think they still need to do like Red. They need to do the coffee place. Forgive me, I don't remember the name. But we did get Leaf in the previous one, and I love Leaf, so we'll see who's next. And then April wrap up as far as music goes. My top 3 songs are How Bad Do You Want Me, How Did It End, and I Like the Way You Kiss Me. I don't know how that Taylor Swift one gets in there every time. I'm happy. I'm fine. Say it once again with... That's probably my favorite bridge on the Torture Poets department. Like, the death rattle breathing. Silence. Okay, I'm done. Top 3 artists: Sabrina Carpenter, Gracie Abrams, and of course Taylor Swift. Will it ever change? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. Not that top spot. Things that happened this month that I was obsessed with. Book Rot. My yearly book retreat was this month, or this past month. Most of us read Fearless. It was literally the most beautiful Airbnb we have ever gotten. I wish we could stay there again, but they've already raised their price to like $1,000 more, and you have to be there for 3 nights. I don't understand, but it's okay. We had so much fun. We did a little like blind date with the book exchange. That was great. And I just love spending time with those girls. It was cool to be by the pool and just reading. I got my baby sister ready for prom. I'm old. She graduates literally in a couple weeks. Fiesta, like I said, was this past month. We did a couple events. We went to Oyster Bake. Did not eat any oysters. We saw Hoobastank. Super random. It's just it's like a little carnival, and there's like different bands that perform. Went to Market Square, which is this little place in San Antonio that sells a lot of like Mexican imported goods, a lot of colors, lots of food. We eat this thing called chicken on a stick. I love chicken on a stick. Once again, no hate will be tolerated for my favorite food. Somebody this morning said, why do you even like chicken on a stick? There's no sauce. First of all, where are you getting chicken on a stick that you need sauce? I'm a condiment girl. I don't need sauce. But the juice of the jalapeno, I don't understand. People just hate to hate nowadays. I'm very obsessed with Labubus. I don't know if you can see some in the back. Yeah, it's 0 to 100. Fighting with Pop Mart all the time. It is what it is, okay? I have a couple. I'm happy. We're not going to let it go crazy. Maybe because Pop Mart doesn't let me go crazy. We also did camping for Easter. We only camped 1 night, but it rained us out that morning. But it was still fun. We took the dogs. They were terrified when it was literally storming. And they were terrified. To the point where we came home and we unpacked everything, showered. There was so much mud on all of us. And then we slept for 6 hours on Easter. And then we finished... What did we finish watching? I think that's when we finished The White Lotus. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it has to have been. The things I did in April. Now, as far as a reading wrap-up goes, I have 2 books that I will for sure be reading this month. I'm currently reading The Women, and then for my 2 book clubs, we are reading Dry. It's 2 authors. I don't remember them. And then The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Addie LaRue. Those are my TBR for this month. I do want to read, it's called Air. I do want to read some thrillers. I think Dry is a thriller, but it's been a while. Anyways, but that's literally my April in a wrap-up. That's why they call it that, right? I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite book was from April or what you plan to read in May. Other than that, oh, wait. I have to tell y'all something. I broke my book buying ban for last month. hear me out. See, I was going to leave without admitting this to you. I bought, it's such a long title, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, but I don't think it counts because I bought it on Indie Bookstore Day. I bought it from my favorite indie bookstore. So, does it count? I did buy a special edition of Fearless, though. After already having Fearless. It's the Walmart edition. Who said Walmart? Like, who told us that Walmart was going to be getting some really cute exclusive edition? Because what? So, I kind of broke my book buying ban. I'm not going to break it in May, except if it's for book club. I can't find Dry everywhere for Libby is like 1,000-year hold. So hopefully I find it, or I have to buy it. I don't know if the library physically has it. I should probably check that out. But anyways, now you're free to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a great month. Like I said, tell me your favorite book for this past month. And yeah, you know what? Do all the YouTube things, like, follow, comment, subscribe. Just say hi. I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I will definitely see y'all in the next one. Thanks.